This week's sponsor, KR Couriers and Transport Limited, are best known as being a Northwest-based company who deliver newspapers and magazines for local news agents and superstores. You'll find all the information within the description. Please give them a follow. Thank you. Hello everybody and welcome to the Billy Moore podcast, and today's special guest is Paddy Lacey. Paddy, you've got a story to tell. You went from football to prison to boxing. Tell us about that, mate.
Yeah, it's a mad story really, to be honest. I was playing really well for Accrington, playing on Sky. Burnley beat Burnley in the cup, got beat by West Ham, and then a few months later, how long? Less than 6 months later, I'm in jail after doing really well for about 20 games at Accrington, and was looking. Well, I weren't looking because I know teams were looking at me.
Yeah.
They was telling my agent that, we'll take him come the end of the season, and championship teams, and fucked it all up, Bill.
My life story is just about fucking up, and I had all those dreams and goals, and I wanted to do things as a kid, box, join the army. How the fuck went wrong, mate? So what was it like growing up? What was the contributing factors that led to all this? There must have been something in the background.
I can't ever talk about no trauma. If I said there was any trauma in my childhood, I'd be lying, Bill.
Yeah,
so it was very, very, very normal childhood. Always fighting. Some of my earliest memories are my cousin taking me around the estate, and I'd have a football. I'd show everyone on the estate what I could do with the football, then I'd punch everyone's hand, because they were the two things I could do as early as anything. So, yeah, it was just a fantastic childhood. But my aunt fella steered me away from boxing. Boxing was always on the telly. He put a bag up in my room. He was on the bag. He'd take me to Franny Ann's gym and watch him train.
Joe and Fran, yeah.
Yeah, but then when I'd ask if I could box, he would be blunt, and he'd just tell me, son, stop asking that. You're not allowed to box. You play football. Because he was always conscious of the boxing bug, Bill. You're still hitting the pads to this day. Yeah. When it gets older, you always want to keep yourself in shape, and you can't get rid of it, can you? No. So boxing's been like a bit of a drug for me. This is the only way I could explain it. Addiction, that I can't stay away from it. As much as even when I was at Accrington, playing in the Football League, I think I'd had like 3 amateur fights and won them all by stoppage. And then I was at Accrington, top decent League 2 team, but I was still going to boxing, like area finals in Kirby and things like that, because I couldn't stop it. It was on the back of my mind. I was still going to the gym every night, and they were saying, what are you doing with it? Are you sticking to the footy, the boxing? I was like, no, I love the boxing training. So
you had the best of both worlds there, didn't you, with the sport?
They're the two big ones in Liverpool, aren't they? Football and boxing.
Well, you had the likes of Mackenzie and Curtis Woodhouse.
But Mackenzie's, it's right in his bloodlines, innit? Yeah. Clinton and Duke, and I think one of them died, didn't he, or something, didn't he? Yeah. But they're all fantastic boxers, weren't they?
Yeah. But you know what you were saying about, like, because it doesn't, you don't have to have trauma, right, as a kid, to experience all this, like, them paths that you go down. Because everyone thinks, you got to come on, you got to, like, I got battered as a kid, I got this happened, and because of that, this is the way it was. And sometimes I've had a few guests who've come on, and my life was great. Yeah. I had a great childhood. I had a kid on the other month, Kevin, who had a fantastic life, but was arrested for multiple fucking hits on murders and everything, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't make any difference.
No, well, mine will kind of be then conformity. Do you get what I mean? Because you grow up with the lads, and you're always with the lads. Then obviously, I was always dipping in and out of football, full-time football and working. So I was probably behaving on a weekend like a floor layer, but still involved in the football world, the full-time football, where people were taking it a lot more serious. But I was always dead fit, probably because of the boxing, probably because of my dad. My dad doesn't ask how you are, he asks, have you trained? Yeah. He's one of them dads, you know what I mean? I've got a little brother who's at Man U, plays in England, another little brother at Barnsley, so the way he does it, my dad, he's right to him, and he just, training's the answer to everything. If you're in a bad mood, you train. If you're happy, it's because you've trained. So that was instilled early, but when I was at Accrington doing well, I was still hanging around with the lads, and I hadn't distanced myself, although I knew it was wrong. I was conscious that, you know, we do get drug tested, and this could go, you know, Pete Tong. I was thinking, you know, but I'm still one of the lads, and I was still going out there. But sometimes it was more to do with, fucking hell, they wouldn't have to ring me. I'd go to boozer by myself. You know, football went bad. So if I played terrible, I just can't. I used to. I don't process me emotions like that no more. I was just sitting in the changing rooms and just think, I can't wait to get on the aisle now. Don't just to forget about it, because it's a long weekend between the next game, and you could be dropped the next game. So I used to have like bad highs and lows with the football. Really bad highs and lows. I don't know what that was ever down to, because with the boxing, I can take the boxing. Do you know, if you get duffed up in the spar, you sit down and go, do you know what, felt tired today. He was fucking good, and, you know, weren't using me jab or X, Y, and Z.
You know what it is, like, what I'm seeing there is, like, you've got a bit of teamwork there in football. But what I realised is when you were boxing, you only had yourself to depend on. If you lost, you lost.
Yeah, and I can sit and deal with that, but whereas in football, there's loads of variables. Like, Joe, I fell out with the assistant this week. He had a thing, and I had a comment back, and the other centre midfielder was shite, and we never played well as a team. So it would like swirl around your head all weekend of why the fuck did I play shit? Because I've done this. I had the right foods, trained hard all week. So I always processed emotion, but that's just normal from anyone. I think, Joe, everyone that I've worked with, when you have a bad day, you go to the pub and you have a few pints. Used to. Do you get what I mean? So I got used to doing that. You know, processing emotion after football by drinking ale and taking drugs, and then that was my downfall, really.
So drinking and taking drugs was just an escape from
exactly, Bill. Yeah,
the football and the feelings that you were going through.
Yeah,
and definitely. Like you said, your process. For me, it was like we both got different paths in life, but the escape for me was because of the family life and my dad, the way he was. And standing on corners and then picking up a bit of a drug habit with the weed and slowly like snowballing into addiction. Well, I'll say slowly, I fucking flew right into it, to be honest. And that was like an escape, but it was more like the addictive personality kicking in as well. You know? So for yourself, is that what was? It was just like to block it all out. Yeah,
definitely. Never, you know, I've never took drugs without ale. It was always ale first, to get what I mean. Charlie, yeah. So I've never smoked. Never smoked weed. It weren't like a gradual build up. More with the Charlie and going out partying it was everywhere. Everyone is on it, everyone's doing it, and you know,
goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, you keep going to the barbies, you get your haircut. So I'm still out drinking, and I was always, no, I'm a footy player. Then when you're playing for, lesser teams, Barrows, and so the lads don't really, the fantastic football clubs, but the lads are just like, lads, you only play for Barrow. And you're like, no way, I'm a footy player though, it's a decent standard. And then before you know it, you've drank too much, and then you've had it a few times, and then you do have it, it's a part of going out. So
that's an analogy I use as well. You know, if you go to a barber shop long enough, you're going to end up with an haircut.
That's it.
If you're hanging around with bricklayers, you're going to start laying bricks.
Exactly. So, like, my mates are still my mates to this day, but do I go to the pub with them every weekend? No, they're still my mates regardless, but I don't think I was conscious of that. That if I say, boys, I wouldn't have done it anyway, because I don't know what I know. With trauma comes wisdom. So, I know what I know now, and I wish I could go back. But, they're still my best mates. We still go on walks. I still go to the pub. I still see them. Do you get what I mean? But I'm not the first one there buying all the ale and with a pocket full of Charlie, giving everyone me Charlie, trying to make everyone happy. Right, we're all on one. Do you get what I mean? Because I'm going through playing shit. So
what happened to where did it all go wrong after that? Because, well, obviously picking up the alcohol and the drugs, you know.
So we played. I never turned up to the training on the Monday. I think the game he dropped me was Yeovil, so I was always playing well. I don't think I ever had a bad game for Accrington. But he had his lads that, you know, he liked, and he ended up winning the league when I was in jail. my team was winning every week, Bill. So I'm talking to like the lads I told everyone in jail. He was like, don't tell no one in jail that you're a footy player. They want money out of you. But I've told everyone in jail. So everyone had like this common interest of Accrington. So on Channel 5 of a Saturday afternoon, or on BBC, they're watching, they go, fucking hell, your team are winning again. They'd be top of the league by like 9 points. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I've done myself out of a winner's medal here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Gutted. So, fucking...
Was that true though? Everyone's saying to you when you were away, like, don't tell anyone you're a football player.
That was the first thing they said to me,
Bill.
Because
they'd be hitting you for dough.
Yeah, well...
Was he?
No. Well, that was in Bristol, really. Not when I got home. Bristol was funny when I was getting checked in. I didn't have...
That Horfield?
I don't know.
Was you in a prison up there?
Yeah, it was in the main neck, like the Walton there, but it was just called Bristol. Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Horfield, yeah.
So, I'm in the holding room and I just went down with the suit because the pre-sentence report, the fella said, what's the point in putting you in jail, John? We've got Bogan's carpets. Shouldn't be leaking them because I'm a rival to them now. I've got my own business. So they went, you've worked your whole life. We've got things from your football clubs. You're a good kid. You've just obviously...
It means fuck all though, does it?
When you know
what, right, I'll be honest with you, right? Paddy, standing in front of a judge and I've got loads of...
Character references
stating I was working full time. I've done a lot for the community. I've made one mistake in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
didn't take a fucking blind bit of notice. Just threw me in jail.
This judge, like, I hate people, Bill, to think that, Joe, if it weren't for jail, I mightn't have changed.
Yeah,
I was changing because what does Muhammad Ali say, Joe? If you still think the same at 30 as you did at your 20, you've wasted 10 years of your life.
Yeah. So
like, I think kind of your 20s are finding yourself, and you all conform and do the same things. You all take drugs because you think that's cool, and you all go partying and do this, and then like you start to find your own little thing of what you like.
Yeah.
I like loads of different things. I love cooking. Do you know what I mean? I love cooking, love walking, I love cleaning, building my shop. Do you know what I mean? Getting on one cleaning, I think it's boss for your mind. So there's loads of different things, but where was we starting there, Bill? What was you going on about? Oh, how the drug test come, sorry. Yeah. So he dropped me against Yeovil. So I think the game was Yeovil, so I'm sitting in the changing room. Well, the assistant come over to me when he named the team and he could just see me face. Straight away, that used to think, I'm on the ale tonight, I'm going nuts. That's what I used to think. As soon as I was dropped, it was like not a backlash at the manager, but that's what I'm doing. But if it was
just like an excuse.
Probably was, because
it's got to be. It's got to be, Annie.
It's got to be, Bill, because when I play well, I'd reward myself.
Yeah.
So
whether you were winning or losing,
I'm going out. Yeah. No, but if I do all right, I wouldn't. But if I played dead well, probably you want to go to booze and tell everyone. I don't know. But so then he said Monday training never turned up. So the drug test has got me on. I love talking about this because I just think it's ridiculous. Because Bill, when I got drug tested and thingoed, as Jose will tell you, you're totally exiled from football. They bring it out in the paper, so basically, and they tell you can't earn an income.
Shame you.
They shame you, publicly shame you, and your family, everything. It's not nice for them to see because they're all on this football journey with you. But I don't know what other job in the world that. So me and you bricklayers, we get a piss test on site. They stop you from being a bricklayer for the next 2 years.
But they don't put you in the paper. Make you out of you, do they?
But like, they can't even stop you being a bricklayer. You can go and up along to another firm. And, do you know what I mean? So I didn't quite get that. And so on the Monday training, I'd got a 6-week rehabilitation order.
Yeah. And
that's between you, the club, and you. And they sit down and they just say, look, obviously this is in your system, why is it? Then with the rehabilitation order, I'd have told them that's how I've been processing emotion. They said, well, that's all wrong. There's plenty of ways, Joe, in which you can go about it a different way. So I never got that because I never turned up on the Monday. They weren't there on Monday, they turned up on a Tuesday. Then when it's in a game, it's a 4-year ban. Straight away, you're banned for 4 years. So I weren't coming on a Tuesday. I was a bit of resentment towards the manager and said, nah, I'm not coming. He was like, Pad, please, we need you because he's struggling with this and Saturday, he's struggling. You're going to get a fair game and you could be back in. I went, all right, sound. I think he knew that I'd been out, or I think I was saying I was a bit ill or something. And turns up Hartlepool, then we're on the bench at half time. And I just remember my mate Teddy going, I'll just turn and went, hey, there's all drug testers here. And fucking hell, he went out with me the weekend, but obviously I knew what I'd been doing, Bill.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Joe, that knot in your stomach, you know, must have just went white.
The fear kicked right in.
So I fucking just down and water, must have done about 4 litres of water, forcing it down, and he brought me on at like 60 minutes. The fucking big cocky shot of water, couldn't move. Then as I'm walking off the pitch, I'm just thinking, I hope to God, you know, I'm not getting pulled here. And just see one fella glaring at me, and they get you, and they don't leave your side. So it crossed me mind when I was in the changes. Me and Terry Gornell had been mistaken before, because we were both a similar height, dark hair. I was going to say, Terry, put this shirt on your back, and you fucking do the drugs test, but they come in, you don't listen to the gaffer's team talk, you just get sucked away straight away. So I'm sitting in this room just thinking, fucking hell, I'm fucked here, because it was Saturday night. It's only fucking Tuesday night. I think they say 72 hours.
Was it the Charlie that you were eating as well?
Yeah,
so that was in your system.
But, you know...
What did he say? Is it 3 days?
3 days. So it was 3 days to get to me. It was on the border, and it was... let me tell you, he was knocking back my piss because it was water.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's a stitch up. You're allowed, Bill, to test your sample B, which I never done, because I got told not to do it by the PFA. But as I went further along the line, the PFA, the Professional Footballers Association, and the FA are obviously their own entity who govern football, but they're kind of in bed together. They've got a close working relationship.
Yeah.
Because when I'm sat in this room while they're all conferring about what like ban I'm going to get, this fella from the PFA went, I've been right about the last 6 times people have been drug tested. So I'm like, what? He went, you're going to get a 14-month ban, I reckon. I went, I thought I was coming down here to get nothing, that I was getting like, you know, this is how he processes emotion, he's fucked up, he's never been tested before, so we haven't got to him early, or he hasn't had a rehabilitation, you know, what's the point in taking this kid?
What's the intervention here? Where's the help?
Who's helping me here? Who's going to give me a chance and say, wow, you can't do that, son, this is the way. Do you get what I mean? Because I come from being a part-time footballer and a floor layer, and you had loads of excuses there that anyone wanted to give me them. Yeah. You could have said, yeah.
So do you feel like you didn't get any, obviously, like you didn't get any support?
No, I didn't get no chance.
See, that's a similar experience for me when I was on work, and I was working in the field, you know, the drug field, working with addicts in Bootle.
Yeah.
And I'd relapsed, but never told anyone.
Yeah. Come
bangers, owns it. And the intervention was like, you know, I was sitting in front of a board getting sacked. That was it.
Yeah, that's exactly what football.
And I asked for help as well. I said, look, if it was, you know, I'm in a situation, I'm quite vulnerable. I've got a lot going on. I was diagnosed with cancer. I was trying to, you know, I'm not trying to justify why. Yeah. But there was a lot of reasons for the way I was behaving.
I think everyone, you know, you should give people a chance. But if you fell in front of that board again, Bill, and you say, oh, here we are again, so we helped you the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then, but that seems to go on to like going to court as well, similar. You know, standing in court, all character evidences, all reasons that were justifiable for the way you behaved. And then everyone's just scamming over it and going, right, prison, end off to that.
Well, the judge with me, he gave me a harsher sentence, because at Glastonbury they were looking for scousers because it was within circulation, so these notes. Everyone must have had.
Is that what you got nicked? I don't even know what you got arrested for. What was it?
So, I had 13 counterfeit notes. I had me drugs for the weekend, which was ecstasy and cocaine. So I got 2 months for the cocaine, 2 months for the ecstasy, 14 months for 13 black notes. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were looking for scousers, but I got the harshest sentence out of everyone who had similar stuff that day. There must have been 200 scousers up for that same thing. Yeah. Must have nicked 200 people. But when I come into the court, he was horrible, this judge. You know, he weren't asked that, you know, England Boxing had wrote a thing, or so Bogan's character, everyone who wrote these characters, he went, see you. You know, there's kids on estates that, you know, they've got no other way of life. You've got a trade, you're good at 2 sports, and you're making mistakes. He said, you're getting a custodial sentence today. There's no, like, don't even. So I was just like, fucking hell, that was what I said. I hadn't even brought a pair of bills with me, Bill. I had to come in a suit, because the pre-sentence.
No worse than going to jail and a whistle.
So then I think, the fella plays centre support, he was like, I just don't see how on earth anyone would send you to jail. He said, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm just like, yeah, mate, and fucking hell, lo and behold. So I'm in the holding cell, Bill, going in. So these are fellas. I was in a mate who's a pro boxer now, Joe Cavanagh. He'd been nicked for the same thing, and we knew each other through the amateurs. Yeah. So he was there. So we had a little mate builder, a little featherweight, he's fucking boss boxer. And so I'm in the holding cell, and this fella's fucking hell, if you're in your whistle. I said, lad, that belonged not on me. I told I was getting a touch. I think Joe brought a few things that told him you could possibly. And the fella goes to me, well, when you're going in to speak to this woman, the same woman that said, don't tell them you're a footy player, he said, the smoking's packed in jail now. Yeah. Get yourself the nicotine patches. He went, you'll be able to get yourself some shower gel, this, that, and the other, Joe biscuits. I went, it's always like, mate, sound. So I sits down opposite this woman, Bill. She went, you smoke? So she's ticking her tick list. I went, yeah. And he told me to say 40 bifters a day is the top band, you'll get the heaviest one. Yeah. And I went, 40 a day I smoke. So she must probably see football, and she's like, what, 40 a day? I went, yeah. She went, oh, bloody hell, you must like really want a cigarette. I went, yeah, not half. I said, fucking hell. So she gives me this box of fucking the things that you have to get up weekly. So I just take it. She went, don't you want to put that on? So I went, oh, yes, I've never put one of these on though. So, Bill, I put the back... within 30 seconds, because I've never had nicotine in my system, wow, the fucking room was swirling. I was sweating. I did a whitey, and I could just see her, but I couldn't hear what she was saying. And just went, yeah, all right, love, and just walked into the old room. Boom. I was like, what the fuck is that? I took drugs, but that was fucking heavy. So, yeah, and that was the same woman that said, don't tell them footballers, but I told everyone. It was
they fucking end up smoking them. Fucking nicotine patches, don't they?
They do mad stuff with them, so it was there was chaos in the jails at the time because smoking had just been took off, and I don't know if you have smoked. What year was
this?
This was 2017. So I think it was hitting in different jails at different times, and there was a big thing going on. There was proper violence going on because people were coming out the pads angry because the pad weren't enough, or whatever. So that was my first little thing in jail, but there was travellers in there in the pads. Yeah. So I thought so as soon as I come in, I thought footy's over.
Makeshift pads.
Makeshift pads. So
plates
with your bed sponge. Yeah. I made the best ones. So I put my flip flop. On me plate with the thing. Yeah, boss it. Then you could hold it, build it a bit. But me and Joe, I thought footy is over now. Yeah. I failed the drugs test. I went to jail. I'm never gonna kick a ball again. Boxing. So like Hurricane Carter, Denzel. I was training like a nutter. Yeah, Ruben. Denzel. So on that film, I was just training like a nutter. I was doing laps of everything. I could tell Bill the first day on the yard. Everyone was just like, how many laps is this cunt gonna do? But I only had an hour. Thought I'm gonna keep running till I can't run no more. And I did, so then I was mad training with the travellers, me and Joey Cav, but they was shite. They weren't proper boxers, they was just tough lads, just tough lads. And then I had obviously little Joe to bounce off to workouts with, pad workout at the pads. But I didn't want to stay down in Bristol. I wanted to fucking
get back home.
The voice was doing me head in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've lived up
Green Army, all that, and like...
Wait, get lost, mate.
Yeah, dude, because I did play footy, they couldn't have enough of me, and they would say, I was just thinking, not that being nasty, but I just wanted the familiar, and it was hard for any of the family, none of the family could see me.
I lived up in Bristol for about 3 years, up in Fish Ponds, when I was in recovery, initially, when I got my shit together. I was up in a rehab up there, but they ended up locating there, and it was, they were a bit fucking...
Well, I would have always, John, for local release, I was always having to go back up.
Yeah.
Local, so I was saying to the fella, can't you get me a Cat D and get me home? So, and he was like, yeah. He went, I can get you a Cat D, but it's round here. I went, I'd rather just get me somewhere up north. I said, where there's Scousers. So he just come one day and said, Risley. He went, but it's not the best jail, to be honest.
Did you go to Risley? Like?
Risley, yeah. He went, but I went to sound. Yeah. So then Joe liked it down there. Joe was like, lad, I'm staying. These are all right here. He said, I'm training, 3 times a week. And then on the day when the bus was coming, he went, I'll leave it the screw. Joe, you let me know if you could. He went, fuck it, I'm going. So then we was in Risley. Risley was sound. 23-hour bang up long days, but, I knew a couple of lads in there who were from Bayars and bit of a familiar voice. It was sound. Everyone could come and see me. You only got one visit a week. But the jail flew, obviously 5 months. It flew me out. I remember ringing me half on me half. I was like, you sound like you're fucking having a good time in there. Or when he'd see me on visits, I'd always be laughing and joking, and as I am. And he was like, I think he wanted me to be upset and be like, fuck, I'm never coming here again. But it is what it is, Bill. Played the hand you dealt.
Yeah, and that's like what I've always wrote and said this, that prison isn't the answer to people's behaviour. You know, there's got to be some kind of intervention on the outside, because it's just a breeding ground for criminals.
Yeah, you kind of just start acting the same. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, don't get me wrong. You're going to go in, and I can imagine you going in at first feeling like it's daunting. It's a daunting experience, because I went in and I was like, what the fuck? I hadn't been in for a long time. I always knew I could
fight though, Bill. Do you get what I mean? So when the first night,
that's part of the problem as well, isn't it? Because when you know you can fight, you've got to, you know, you're up against the test with everyone.
There's always, do you know what I mean? I only really got in one fight, but it was all, I only ever fought with the bullies, Bill. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? There's divvies in jail, I think, that I had. Someone picked on little Joe and I ended up knocking him out. But where was I going with that then?
So like the feelings that your dad was saying, and about how you should be afraid, and you know you were.
But I weren't. I was sad. Weren't as bad. Someone the first day, hot sugar water. Was standing on the landing. Me and Joe on the top landing. Someone got his face melted.
Was you in your suit?
No, I was out of it. Then I was in all prison issue gear, even worse, and my pumps like a proper divvy. And then I was thinking, fucking hell. So his face was bubbling. I was and it was the wrong kid. Whoever been paid to do it, he went back to this firm and was like, yeah. They went, lad, that's not the right kid. And this poor kid was screaming, his face bubbling. I was told, no cunt's doing that to me.
For a bit of spice, innit?
Yeah, and that's the main thing. Spice these days, that they were just going.
I've seen some crazy antics going on over that. You know what they were doing. And I was probably in about the same time year as well. 2018, the beginning. You were 17, 217.
Yeah, my sentence lasted till 18, but he let me out on tag a few weeks before Christmas.
Christmas 2018.
Oh no, 2017, yeah.
Yeah, so you just...
2018 was it? I got me banned from football 2016 to November. Yeah, so the Christmas 2017 I was in jail.
Yeah, I just got in just after you. Fucking shite.
Where was that?
That was in Bolton.
Yeah.
I ended up in Bolton, Hindley then. For the first time in 22 years of being put away, I ended up in a Cat E. And that was just because I conformed. Because I'm like yourself, Joe. Sorry, Pad. I'm like yourself. I won't...
How many fights do you have?
Me?
I'm joking as if you...
Oh, fucking hell, still. You were calling me Joe before. I'm thinking, is he calling me fucking Joe? Was it Billy? I'm not... must have been on another podcast with someone called Joe. No, but yeah, that conforming, that was a big one.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is. I like, you know, because I'm a green and I'm identifying. Like, that conforming for me was like, nah, I'm not fucking doing it. You know,
it's weak to conform, though. That's what I instill in my little brothers.
And it's like we live in a society that, you know, against, like, fucking collectively being together and conforming against the government and this and that. There's a lot of, like, rebelling. You know, and that's what I was. I was more of a rebel without a cause. I'd always end up, like yourself, fighting fucking for the underdog, bullies.
Yeah.
I'd always end up getting fucking weighed in as well, because there was a few of them, and I think I could go in and I could fight. But then you're fighting fucking numbers, aren't you? And
of course.
That's where I went wrong all the time. So your time in Risley, right? Did that... Your football career in your mind now is over.
It's over, yeah. But like as I got no rehabilitation, or no one helped me in that jail, bar the lads, the prisoners. They was the only people motivating me to go and make something in my life. Do you know what I mean? Saying, lad, you're a boss boxer, we see you on the pads every day, you're saying to that. And then people were saying, don't write off your footy. You've only done this, lad, you're 23. Do you get what I mean? You'll come out and you'll play for a good team. You're just going to have to bang on so many doors until one opens. So I was only getting that off them, not off the establishments. No one was sitting me down saying, yeah, Pad, you know, we've spoke to X, Y and Z when you come out, like, Joe, what you're saying.
Yeah.
You can't just in there, your career's over, who's asked? Do you get what I mean? So,
it's just a holding pen prison, isn't it?
Yeah, your life's on hold until you're out.
See, that's what angered me a lot, that I've seen a lot of young kids going in there and not getting help. They're going in and one on that merry-go-round of coming back in again, and I thought, you know what, this is what happened to me growing up through the system, in, out, fucking back out, back in, and no one, and nothing changing. Yeah. I'm still seeing that
going on today.
Yeah.
But I think in like Scandinavia, they do it dead different, don't they? In like Sweden, Denmark, places like that, you know, you go into prison and they show you, they teach you skills. Obviously, we have little things over here, but they teach you trade, they take you skiing. You go on holiday and say, look, there's a big wide world out there that don't need seeing. There's opportunity. You aren't a whatever mine was, A9, Joe, a prison number. You're better than that. You're better than what's around you. Like, you're in jail, there's fucking rats running over the savory, and I'm saying to the boys, we aren't putting, lads, we're going and eating it, and I'm saying to the lads, you're only still eating this, and there's only rats still going about because you're eating it. Stop it. No one eats tonight. Do you get what I mean? And the next day, there was pest control in. I don't know where I went into that, but do you get what I mean? Like, it makes you. I felt like jail made you feel like a scumbag. Yeah, it made you feel shit about yourself.
If you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. It's a shout I've always come across, and you know, I agree with you, Paddy, where you're standing up for something, and you're right, because you're not just a dog.
Yeah, but they like to think you are.
Yeah, and I had that. I think the only time I ever sort of had any kind of humanity in prison was when I went to a catty, and I was a bit more. Like heading towards rehabilitation with the inmates, and I think you'd have to get. But it was like a cat's like a class difference. Trust me, you won't get addicts who've been struggling in the grip with drugs, right? Going through the system and putting a catty because they're not trustworthy. Yeah. Right, that's who we need to look after. You know what you're getting is kids who are who've been nicked once. Yeah. For some fucking grafter out of town or county lines. They've got a few quid behind them and they're in catties and they're living the dream. That's what I saw, right? Yeah. For me to get there after 20 years of going through the system, it was a fucking miracle. And the only reason I got there was because I wasn't using prior to going to prison. How mad's that? Right, I've never been to jail before, unless it was in a grip of addiction, and that was the reason I went. But I'm standing in front of a judge, I'm clean, I'm in recovery, I've got my shit together, I've been to a rehab that was paid for by these producers that cost them fucking thousands of pounds to get me shit together because they didn't want to see me die. I'd got through cancer, you know, I still had a job, I had all these character references. I'm standing in front of a judge and he went 2 years. I went, you fucking what? And I'm in that mindset, not like yourself. I had a suit on. I did have a suit on, but I had to change of clothes and I had a phone as well. I knew fucking hell, here's a backup plan. But that's just, and I went in and I watched it for the first time with open eyes.
How long had that been since you last sent
10 years, right? So from 10 years, right, Paddy, and then going into Walton Prison, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, I feel like, and it was like, you know, I was getting called Pops and Uncle Bill. Oh, fucking, I know I'm old now. I'm around kids who are in the 20s. I'm in my mid 40s. Yeah, this is not for me no more. There's like a drug-induced paranoia going on. People are stabbing each other and slashing each other for spice cards.
Spice, yeah.
You know, and they're fucking shelling the soul, shelling the roasties and everything on the landing. I've had people banging at me, do you want to buy me roasties for a fucking bit of this? And oh, mate, I've never even heard this drug at the time. I'd never took it, and I still haven't. But yeah, I just seen nothing happening. And there's a lot of screws in there that are alone and go, you know what, there's no intervention outside. That's why prisons are fucking full.
But it's you know, without prisons, no one's getting paid. I mean, without prisoners, no one's getting paid. It's kind of like this vicious cycle of, you know, do they really want to rehabilitate people? Because then I just don't get it. Not doing nothing for them. And it's like, me and you, Bill, you know, if we can see this as an issue, surely those at the top, these governors and all that, are saying, look, they can see that there's a problem there, and people are, Joe, the re-offending rates are, Joe, so high. So what they're doing is not wrong, but it's like they're not changing it because they're happy to have them and just house them. Because one thing I learned, I'll go into this story dead quick. So, Bill, come from great life, never had an offence in my whole life, to then the judge just saying, fuck, I'm throwing you in jail anyway for fucking 13 black notes, because the busy told me, if you didn't have them notes, these would be getting through in the bin, because you're acting last to me, mate. Everyone's here for the same reason, to let their hair down. Don't worry about your drugs. Be worried, this is the busy. Be worried about them notes. So I'm like, why would they be asked about 13 black notes? Fucking hell, Bill.
So from being a good kid to having all
yeah.
this.
So then I'm in prison, and
How many fights did you have?
No, fucking hell, shouldn't have sparred yesterday. I go on a visit and all. I mean, they take you from wing to wing for these visits. So as I meet, so you go to the front of the wing, and then you just go. We're going to the last wing before we go into like the holding cells for the visit. And this fella's bossing people. This is just a mad story that I do think, Bill, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know what this reason is to this day, but I do believe that, you know, I was always a boxer, and my half fella kinda, he knew how tough boxing was. He boxed himself, he played footy himself, and he said, you don't want that, boxing's one tough game. If you're good at footy, play footy, which he was spot on.
Yeah.
So and this fella's bossing people round on the visit, get in line there, because we'll process this quicker. But But he was a prisoner just like us, but because he was a big cunt, I thought, is he just trying to think he can tell people what to do because he's big?
Yeah.
So I said to him, hey, you big dickhead, fucking stop telling the lads what to do, stop bossing them around like a fucking grass. He just looked at me like that. And then I turned to this fella, Bernie Flynn, he knew me dad, his dad. His older brother John Flynn boxed the Wavertree, and my dad's mates who Sid and John I just mentioned, they was all mates. So me and Bernie hit it off straight away. And I went, I can't fucking stand him. I don't know what it is. And I was bubbling, Bill. And I'm the most laid back person in the world. You asking me? I was bubbling and I was fucking ready to fight. And Bernie was just like, don't worry about it, lad. Fucking hell, he was only like shouting at people to do that. He is a bit of a grass, but I've known him for years. Don't worry. So the following day. I think it was the following day. Could have been 1 or 2 days. And then you go on your library visit then. Yeah. So Joey Barton's book's there. Yeah. But it was quite a new book, because I think he brought it out, say, around that time. And all the other books were all fucking covered in dust. So I thought, fucking hell, Joey is like a family friend of ours, all off the same estate tonight. And so picks up the book, goes back to me pad, thought he was in jail, I was in jail. So we'll have... Yeah. And on 12th page, it mentioned a lot of 2 fellas in our estate got murdered. And it named one of the murderers, 2 got done for it. But this was my uncle Bill when I was 8. Yeah. And then it brought back things that I had never thought of since I was a kid. So then it took me back to that place when I was a kid. And I just said I had no trauma. This was probably the most... And my mum's brother...
So it opens up a can of worms.
Opened up a can of worms, this Bill. And my life could have went... Whoosh, so we'll get into it. So I read this on the paper and fucking hell, I've not forgot about it, because we always lived with it, and my ma weren't right for years after it, because her brother got took away, got murdered, metal baseball bats, and this fella who he named, Sean Jackman, he'd pissed on them after they died. So it didn't mention this foreign name, and I could always remember this name. His name was Esposito, this fella. I always remembered this name, but because it was a foreign name, and I could never remember that other name. So I'm in the pad and I'm fuming. I was thinking, fucking hell, remember that, my poor ma? Fucking, I was only 8, I think. 7 or 8. I can remember her fucking punching the walls, fucking screaming, and me getting dropped off to my mate's house. Thinking, what the fuck's going on here? My uncle's kids have had to live with the trauma. One of them's had the most horrific life you've ever. Cancer, been shot, fucking the worst life ever had, Franny. So I come down then on soaps, then it goes over to Bernie and went, hey Ben, I said, you've never heard of this fella, Sean Jackman, have you? So Bernie was like, yeah, why? I went, because he fucking murdered my uncle. Bernie went, lad, that is crazy. He went, that's that fella you shouted at 2 days ago on the visit. He said, remember you were saying to me, you can't. And I had a feeling there, Bill, and I didn't like the man. And I've never had that before in my life. God strike me down dead. I've never had that. How strange is that?
You know what? I just had a few feelings going over me there when you said it, the story. It was like, wow.
That's not normal. It's like... And so of all the prisons he could have been in all the country, and his wing, our wing was above it. He was on like a special. So you had like
sort of like a subconscious reaction there, haven't you?
It's mad, isn't it? And I do believe in stuff like that. And I never believed in any stuff like that up until this moment. And my hard fella's mate James Graham, boss fella, he always used to say, don't ignore the signs, son. So if you get a sign from somewhere, it's someone showing you something, and I used to think, nah, no chance.
Yeah.
And all my signs ever showed me is boxing. Don't forget the footy, go to boxing. Honestly, that's the truth. That.
I believe you.
So I was thinking, I said to Benny, I said, I'm going to smash his head in. Where is this cut? He went, lad, he's on this special wing. Because they're Cat A, your Cat's category C, I think I was. Yeah. He said, they get like 120 grand for him a year to look after him, or maybe more, I don't know. They only get 30 for you. If you upset him more than anything, you'll just be down the road. And there was little bits of things, you could never get close to him. So I don't know what the meaning was.
Was he doing life, this kid?
He was doing life, yeah.
He
was doing life for it.
Scouser?
No, Woollyback from out of town, Southport, I think he was from. But he, you know, we had a few run-ins, but never. There was always a gate in between us, or there was always something. But he kind of got onto it all. You know, when you go out to the pad and you tell the lads are just like, they've all went on their iPhones back on the pad, they've checked and went, look, if I get me, because they all knew my cousin, if I get my hands on him, he's toast. So I think he got onto it, and he was telling the screws, and then the screws are coming to me going, look. So he's been plain sailing the last 10 years. He walked around, he was a double murderer, probably 40, because of all of his muscles, he was a big hard case. What's going on with you and him? Because we're hearing things and he's saying, I was like, nothing's going on. I said, are you sure he's not a bit round the bend? And in the end, he used just to tell them everything. This smackhead shouted this to me, this has said this, and they come and said, we've got a dossier of fucking everything that's happened since the minute you walked into this prison. He was sound, it's got to be you. Yeah. And they said, look, we'll take your tag off you and send you back down to Bristol. And then it's another 4.5 months behind the door. And,
you couldn't be honest with that.
I said, I can't control anyone else. If they're giving him stick, because people are throwing out water out the windows at him and everything, Jones, he was walking past trying to get him. So I said, I can't control people. People don't like what he's done, pissing on people when they're dead. So that was a little thing. So I thought, when I was in jail, I was thinking, if I get my hands on this fella, I don't think people are going to be able to pull me off him, and I've never hit anyone when they're down ever in my whole life, but I don't think with the anger I had built up inside me, I don't feel that way now. Yeah. Because, I was supposed to come out of prison and make something of my life. Do you get what I mean, Bill? Yeah. But from going from there to no help off the FA, no help from the judge. If he was on an open wing, I'd have really hurt him, and he was at grass. Do you know what I mean? So I could have been doing a lot of jail. Then there's no footy, no boxing, no nothing. So I think it just made his life in jail torment from then on in, because word was about, and people like me, footy, boxing, they all thought I was sound. So it made his jail go slower. And he would have been towards the end of his sentence, I think. Now I don't know whether he's out or whatever, but
he's either on a Cat C, because you'll have to do at least 2 years.
2 years there or something.
You'll have to go from a Cat C, which is usually, then he'll end up in Warrington. Thorncross.
Where everyone goes,
Yeah, I've been there.
So it was just a mad little turn of events, that, and you're thinking, fucking hell. Then, if something would have happened, I'd not been institutionalised, but I'd been put in that place on the next wing, and it could have all fucking went the wrong way. But as soon as they come and said that and said, look, we're sending you down to Bristol, we're taking your tag off, you're doing it, I thought, oh fuck no, because I'd wrote to John Coleman, the manager of Accrington, and said, look, I just want another chance, please. So he said, yeah, Pad, he said, as soon as you get out of prison, come and train. But I'd done no training. I only got one gym session a week in Risley, and it was fucking badminton. So everyone wants to go to the gym, don't they, and lift weights, and everyone wants to play footy. That was weeks you had to book in. So
everything's an app, isn't it? You gotta
everything's an app, so I mean. So I'm just playing badminton with whoever. So fucking who else could get on gym?
If no one knows what an app is, it's a fucking nightmare.
An application in it, so fucking you'd have to ask. And then they come back and say you're 54th in a queue of 12 footy players, 6 aside.
It's even worse when you want to put you see a doctor and you put an application, you've got to wait 3 weeks. There's no phoning up in the morning at 8 a.m. and getting an appointment there and then in the afternoon. It's fucking heavy.
It's scary,
yeah. It is scary.
So then a few bad things had happened, but I thought, right, thanks to all the lads on the wing, go and make something of your life. When I was leaving, everyone was up on our wing. Pad, we want to be seeing you winning the league with Accrington. They're halfway through the season, the top, or win a world title, and everyone was talking to me like that. So I'm like, yeah, sad. And I always remember the last person to see him was Bernie, my half-fella's mate. So I've banged on his Pad. He's up, yes, Pad. Remember, son, that it only gets better from this moment here on now. Leaving this prison, your life's on the up now. Go and make something of yourself, son. This, that and the other. Sound, Ben. So one of my mates, Dean, the team I'm saying that I've got to get off for now, FC Dovecot, when we was at Glastonbury, he said, Pad, you're banned from football. Why don't you play footy with the lads, five-a-side? I went, lad, I forgot all about that footy half. I was in a bad place with it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. He went, why don't you play for us and keep your hand in, because you can't start playing till a certain date. You may as well, Joe, keep on top of things. Said, no, fuck them off, I'm not playing Sunday League. And then when I come out of prison, I thought, I need to, Joe, play a few games before my arm manager sees me, because he'll think I'm finished. I haven't played footy for, 18 months or something like that. Oh no, a year I hadn't played for. So I rang me mate, said, can I play? He went, lad, we've got a game Sunday, got released on the Friday. Got a game Sunday, sound, playing against Beefy's team, the Custies. Sound, I'm there. You're starting, oh lad, I'm made up because these are the good side. Plays first 10 minutes, Bill. As I turned, my knee just had a big pop. Because I think it was either down to the nutrition in jail, or because I was only playing badminton once a week, I don't know. Or that was just my luck at that time. So as I turned and dislocated and snapped my knee, as I went to break my fall, I dislocated and broke my elbow. So I'm laying on the floor and Wally all fucking pissing down. I'm just like, I thought things only fucking got better from this moment.
What happened, Benny?
What happened there, Ben? So one of the lads takes me. They weren't too concerned about my knee. They snapped my arm back into place, put that in the cast. I was telling them, I said, look, I'm a footy player. The knee's more important. I heard something bad went on in my knee and snapped me cruciate, but they couldn't tell me. So John Coleman, on that Sunday night, this is on the Sunday, and you're in training tomorrow. The manager, no, I made an excuse because I didn't want to tell him I was injured. I went, can I just get fit for the next couple of weeks, Gaffer? I said, no, I'll be in then. Yeah. I'll just give me a week or two. He went, all right then, well, come and see me this week. He said, we'll have a coffee and we'll have to fucking talk about where you've went wrong. Because at Accrington, Bill, they thought, I played the pre-season game. Yeah. And this big bully, their assistant manager, there was a bad tackle on me. Had to get subbed after half an hour, and there snapped my leg, and our manager, he'd been in football 40, 50 years, he went, that's the worst tackle I've ever seen. So I was fuming that I could have ended my career, so I went over to the lad, I think he was from over the water. I went to the lad, I said, you near snapped my knee there. I said, how are you tackling like that, please? He went, lad, I've just got off the beach yesterday, he was on Aldi, sorry, Pad. So then this big, they called him, I played with him when I was 18, he would never remember me. They called him John Coffey, John the fell off Green Mile. He was the biggest unit you've seen, and I think he was a strength and conditioning coach now or something there. And he shouted, what's he saying up there? But he never knew John was a box. Yeah. And so then John Coleman, my manager, put his arm around him in the tunnel and went, look, we don't want no trouble. And he went, no one puts their hands on me in this tunnel, or do you get that? So I've shouted something back, you big dickhead. So as I'm
you came on, you bad.
As they're coming to changing room, these lads don't know me. I think I was at Barrow. Yeah. The Barrow lads would have knew me because there's a few pictures of me duffing up a few fans that were attacking me. They were attacking these, and I stayed on the pitch and duffed up a few fans. It was in the papers and that. So I went, oh boys, they're going, don't upset him, he's got this name and all that. I went, all right. So as I limped out the changing rooms, half time, he's put on a different centre mid. I walked past their bench and I went, see you big cunt. I said, I'll come over to you at the end. See if you've got that much arse then. And then all the fans heard, and then he's up and he's doing all this, and I've sat down. And then John Coleman and Jimmy Bell, they turned around and went, stop causing trouble. I'd only been playing for them for a few weeks. So I thought, Bill, I'm a little trouble causer to get me. So I went, all right, Gaffer, sound, forget about it. So I hobbles on the pitch at the end of the game. We end up getting beat. I puts my hand out and went, lad, forget about the fight. Forget about the tackle and the arguing. I went, it's just a tackle, forget it. And he went, I'm not shaking your hand. And he just looked down at me like that. But I didn't know Jimmy Bell was behind me, the assistant manager. So he just fucked me off with my handshake. So I put my hand around his waist. I said, look, me and you start fighting here. I said, Joe, there's a load of fucking lads who are just going to split this up straight away. Yeah. I said, but if you really do think you can fight, let's go on a little Toby, me and you. I said, away from everyone in the car park. He went, what, are you being for real? I went, 1,000,000%. So then Jimmy, he starts walking off towards the tunnel then. Yeah. So I start walking after him. And Jimmy Bell grabbed my hand. And he goes, Paddy, you sure there? I went, look, these big fellas, some big fellas can fight. I said, but most big fellas can't. So then we goes past these changing rooms. And his arse was starting, he's seen I was keen here, Bill. Yeah. Then he went in. what did he say? He went, I'm not a player no more. I can't be doing this like I used to and stuff. I went, look, I said, you thought you were hard. I said, it's time to go now. I said, your ass is going. So he went, what? My ass isn't going. So then he stomps to go out to the players' entrance. So fair play to Jimmy Bell. Yeah. There was a load of 20 lads who'd all played who were going to watch this. This is at Accrington, a proper football club. I'm fucking treating it like it's the Dovey. So he goes outside, Bill. Lo and behold, he didn't know how to fight. Yeah. So he got hit with the right hand, got snoozed. And I always remember this centre half. I love bringing this up because he will know, but I don't know. So he must have muscled his way through Jimmy Bell out the way and comes out the changing room with no top on. And he was like this, and then he's seen him poleaxed, and he just went. So that was the first initiation at Accrington with the chairman. He rang me on the way home. And he went, have you had a fight? I went, look. I said, this fella, I just tried to shake his hand at the end. He fucked me off. And he went, well, yeah, Jimmy Bell's told me, where you from in Liverpool. Someone fucks you off for your hand's sake. There's only one way to solve it. So he gave me a pass then and said, look, you can't behave like that. Yeah. But he always looked at me a bit like the chairman. Yeah. Because he was a nice fella, dead nice fella, I think he thought. And then when I failed the drugs test and when I went to prison, he kind of had this, I built this all myself. So what he was thinking was probably like that. I was this tearaway, but anyone that knew me and met me, I was a decent lad, do you know what I mean? So Coley, John Coleman, when I've met him for the coffee, that's basically what he said, Pad, we can't just sign you straight away. Yeah. You've got these things behind you. As good as you've played, you're going to have to go to a place and play well and keep out of trouble for 6 months a year. So he put me to his mate at Southport then. But I was going insane at Accrington at first, and I had no cruciate ligaments in my knee, and the old buzz about Conor McGregor fought with 40%. I had nothing. My knee would just give way. And I went to Yeovil. He wouldn't sign me. Coley told me that you're going to have to go to somewhere, keep your nose clean, and fucking we'll have you back just in time. Just work hard, son. But because I was training dead well with no fucking cruciate, I hadn't had a scan yet. I was thinking, fucking just give me my chance, please. So then the Yeovil manager asked me to go down there, Yeovil, but I was still on tag bill. So here's another one in the prison system not helping me.
Yeah, fucking tell me about it, I don't know.
So
I was on a tag, mate. You can't go anywhere.
You can't go nowhere. So I spoke to me probation officer. I said, look, big football club, Yeovil, same league as Accrington. Accrington are top, but these are struggling. The manager said, look, if you're the same player as you was last season, we need you. We're in a relegation battle. You'll sign. Don't care about the tag. Don't care about the prisons. You can help this football club stay in the league. So I've been like, all right, sound, let's get down there. So I spoke to the pro. Nah, you can't go down there. I went, it's a job opportunity. I said, Accrington aren't doing nothing with me. I said, Yeovil, the keen. No, we're not doing nothing. So I think in the end, I said to him, whether you say I can or I can't, I said, you'll have to try and find me in Yeovil because I'll be going. So in the end, she went, we'll set a makeshift phone up in this hotel room. So I went down. I used to get my knee strapped really heavily at Accrington because there was this problem going on with it, which happened against the Custies. And I was scared to tell a physio that I didn't know that I've got this big problem with my knee because they'd have thought, who'll be shining here? Yeah. So I didn't tell him. And the first day my knee fucking went bad. So he went, so you're all right? I went, no. So I rang Coley, driving home. He said, this knee's went bad. He went, all right, we'll help you. We'll get you in to see a surgeon and get you an MRI scan. So I went to see the surgeon and he tested my knee. He went, you've got no ligament there, it's completely snapped, book you in for your operation. So then it's another year's injury at least, Bill. So I've had the drugs ban of 14 months, 14 months or 16 months, jail 18 months, then I've come out, snapped me cruciate, another year out of football. You're talking like three years I wouldn't have kicked the ball. So that was a bad moment. That John Coleman tell me I failed the drugs test. These like the most vivid things and poignant. John Coleman phoning me, telling me I didn't care about when I was in getting sentenced that day. I'd half give up with football and that. As soon as he come out saying getting a custody, I was like, fuck you wanker. And then this fucking surgeon saying you're going to be out of football another year. Yeah. I just thought, I've got no luck whatsoever. Probably brought on myself, probably not the injury, but the other things, fuck's sake, that's footy over, devastated. Phoned me dad, son, even he was like, lad, I think that is the end, So I thought, I've got me boxing. Thank God I've got something, Joe. I always need something to aim towards, but Bill, need to do fucking something.
A goal, don't you?
A goal, yeah. Otherwise, I love doing my floor and I love me shop. I'm dead proud of it. It's not enough for me that. I needed, whether I was running marathons or doing something, I needed to do something. So I thought I'll be able to box well quicker than I'll be able to play footy. So within fucking hell, there's another story in itself. I got the operation bill, and then I was going back to this fella for 3 weeks, going back to see the surgeon, and I was deteriorating in them 3 weeks. The first time I went, it was only for physio, and this physio went, your knee's infected. She went, I would take you to see the surgeon now. So I waited around, and he went, look, I can clean this out now. He said, you can go into an operating theatre now. He said, I'll cut that open. He said, oh, I'll take a load of blood out of it now. He said, if there's an infection in there, he said, I'll ring you over the next 24, 48 hours and you'll have to come in. I went, well, my bird's outside in the car. I said, so it's not like you can cut me open now, because what's she going to do? He went, all right, sound. So he takes this blood out, doesn't phone me for 48 hours. But Bill, I'm losing weight, I'm sweating. I'm not a heavy set lad anyway. Yeah. So I think I walked around at 12.5 stone. I went down to 10.5 stone. I was a bag of bones. My skin was yellow. My reflection was scary. I was sweating all night. But I've been told I didn't have no infection. Yeah. But I had sepsis. It's a silent killer.
Yeah, definitely, mate. So
it went on, and in the end, I ended up fighting in my mum and dad's house. And fucking... my dad come and got me, and he said to me, "Bear, take him to Aussie now." They've been telling me for weeks. He said, you know, when your lad's not... He said, I know you, son. Obviously, my son. He was telling me for weeks, you need to go and see someone urgently. You're not well. So I was in hospital for 3 weeks, then a bag of bones, trying to build myself up. Needed to clean out my knee. Had to get rid of this infection in my blood that was going around me. Couldn't fucking... No luck at all. And everyone was coming in to see me, just like, I can't believe what has happened in these last... What would that been, 18 months? Yeah. So 18 months ago, you were playing on Sky against West Ham, Burnley. And 18 months later, you've been to jail. You've fucking failed drugs tests. You've had sepsis.
It's just...
I just couldn't get no luck at all, Bill. Nothing.
Was that could have been like quite depression as well?
No, I love...
On your mental...
It was definitely testing me.
Yeah.
Definitely testing me. But I don't know why it is. I've always been dead conscious that there's always people worse off than myself.
Yeah, so you coped in that way, did you?
Always. That's how the only way I do get over things. Yeah. Well, someone could be like this. When I went to prison...
So you don't play the victim?
Never.
Good.
Well, that's what my aunt fellas instilled in me.
Don't ever play the victim.
Everything was fixed with hard work. Anything in your life can be fixed with hard work. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So whether that was on the tools, so I dug myself into floor laying, then I could floor... Last week, after I fought on that ADN show, I had 2 broken hands. I was fitting flooring on the Monday. Do you get what I mean? Or when I snapped my knee and snapped my arm, you asked me how I was carrying carpets, one arm in, going in, just get on with it. Just do what you can when you can.
Yeah.
And that was a testing time up top in your head, but I was strangely dead positive about it. Just thinking, right, it's just another chapter in my book, but I knew that wouldn't be the end. I'm being conscious that I'm going to have kids one day, Bill. Them newspaper articles that went for failed footballer, fucking, they aren't just seeing them. They can see them as long as I come out the other side with some fucking nice big shiny belts as a boxing champion. Do you get what I mean? That, you know, I did fuck up their kids, but I've got 2 little brothers as well that I don't want to do that.
That's exactly how I see it, Paddy, because they can, you know, I've got a little boy now. You know, I never expected that. He's only young. He's nearly 2. You know, there's a lot of negative stuff in the papers, but there's also a lot of positive stuff. Yeah. You know, that I've changed. There's evidence there. There's proof that, you know, we can change. And,
yeah, most definitely.
There's a lot of regret, and there's a lot of stuff that we can do positive.
You are who you are this date, Bill, with all that knowledge of what's gone wrong, and, you know, without my mistakes, I'll probably be a good version now, but I wouldn't be as good a version as I am now. Do you get what I mean, Bill? All them bad things that happened, Joe, I learned something on the way. Yeah. I took things from all of it. Do you get what I mean? And I'm a better person for it. So, I couldn't get no luck at all. But I boxed 4 months later, and they say it's a year's injury. I had this little skinny leg.
I know my mates had the same, yeah.
So I thought, I'm fucking boxing regardless. I don't give a fuck. So I had to build myself back up to my old weight, 75 kg. Yeah. Because I was I think I was 66 or 65 kg. So I had to put 10 kg on to make the old weight, because I didn't want to box at 69, because that weren't my weight at the time. Yeah. So I sparred the army one night, and my coach, Paul Eddy, Fucking, he pulled me after him and Pad, you know, I got doffed up. It happens. He said, I can't let you box, Pad, it's too soon. It's only 4 months on since you think, you know, you've had a good go, you've tried, you've done the camp, but you're not ready, you know, son. And I remember arguing. I can remember, John, when you're that passionate, I could have cried. And I'm like, you're not stopping me. I've had this in my mind for 4 months. It was the only thing that was keeping me going, Bill. Because he had something to look forward to, that I'll win a national fucking title. And I argued, and he looked at me and was like, all right then, Pad, sound. He went, well, we'll get them back. I think I said, get them back in the gym this week. I said, now fucking bladder him. But he was well heavy than me. He was a bit heavier than me. Yeah. He was a light heavy. I went, get him in. I said, now fucking bladder him, and then will you let me box you? It's all right. So he gets the army back in, and I didn't bladder him, Bill, but it was competitive. It was probably maybe just edged it, or maybe, but it was competitive. Not like the other one. He was beating me to the punch. He was fucking. So then after the spot, he went, all right, Pad, you've done enough. I'll let you go in them. So I was about 8-0, I think, at this point. Won all my amateur fights. And then I was fucking knocking them all out, Bill. Anyone that went in, I was poleaxing them. Yeah. And then I boxed a tough lad. He's a pro boxer now, Johnny Keeley, traveller lad. Yeah. There was no way. We was in the under-10s tournament, novices. Yeah. Don't think they had them in yours, or did they? No. Back yet. So you all just got through in state elites. So obviously there's under-10s and under-20s, which is a great thing. So you're not getting through in the deep end, you're fighting. And there was no way he'd had under 10 fights, because he put up his first boxing card. I've got him on Insta. He put up his first boxing card. His first boxing card, he was about 12, so he'd only had 8 fights by the time he was 24. So there was no chance. Yeah. So when he was dead tough lad, and I won. And in the first round, Berkey done me corner, David Berkey, and we fucking swatted heads as we come in, because it was a messy fight. We were going all, and I felt me cheekbone break. I come back to the corner, went to Berkey, went, I broke my cheekbone there, you know. He went, no, you're having, son, fucking crack on. So I ended up winning the fight on points. He was one tough lad. And come back, and my fucking face had a big dent in. So I went, it is broken. He went, nah, that'll be swelling. Go. So I went straight back to Aintree, where I'd been. Yeah. I lived there for 3 weeks with sepsis, so I was seeing all nurses and people. What are you doing here? I went, fucking, they went, you've boxed after having sepsis and broke your knee? I went, yes, I broke my cheekbone. So that was to go into the semis, and on paper's nothing. So the semis and the final would have been easier fights than Johnny and Sean Eden. Some of the lads I'd boxed previously. So I got robbed of my fucking national title then as well. Gutting. Yeah, Bill, and then that was kind of the end of the bad luck, really, if I'm honest. Yeah. There was that big spate of probably 2.5 years where, you know, for love nor money, I couldn't catch a break. And then things started to, you know, get better. Me boxing, no injuries, getting better, improving all the time. Then Southport Football Club signed me. I was on good money because John Coleman and the manager knew me. I was a good player. They were saying, we're going to get you back to the standard that you was. So everything was on the up then. Everything was doing great. I was working for Bolton Flooring, and I think Bolton Carpets. And here's a funny story. Fucking Bill, this is the day after April Fool's. This has only just gone, this. Yeah. Some CDI, some chief of fucking crime. All right, mate, need to speak to you. So I'm thinking, someone doing a joke from yesterday. What, mate? Your fingerprints have been all over the murder scene. Yeah. But I've fitted carpets in this woman's house, and her son had murdered her. And, I must do, I don't know how many hundreds of jobs each year, but I can remember this woman because she was an alnach. Yeah. And she was talking about her son. Her son played for Southport years before. He was about 40. And she hated his bed. He'd inherited 2 kids, and he had a boss job. And she wouldn't stop talking. She was wicked, you could tell. And an own son ended up murdering her. Yeah. And he said the name. And I went, mate, I said, Joe, have you mentioned any name? I said, I'll probably, Susie Jackson from so-and-so. I said, I'd never remember because I do that many. Yeah. I said, but I can remember that woman. I said, and she was horrible, He went, well, that doesn't mean nothing to me. She's still been murdered. Fucking mad. That was only last year. So...
just eliminating you from
from things. So I had to speak to him. So then they got the worksheet off Bolton Flooring and saying that, that's why I was there for fitting the carpets that day. But, then I thought, right, boxing's the way forward. Because I come back, I weren't quite the player that I was before. These injuries, they take a toll. I end up doing my other leg, the same injury, playing for Chester, December last year. But... Chester, man, fantastic. When that happened last year, I was retiring from football, and I text my brothers, said to them, don't make the same mistakes as me, kids. You're both dead talented. Fucking, I'm gutted. I've loved footy playing since I was a kid. It's all over for me. But the Chester fans, they all nipped together. They set up a Just Giving page because I had no operation, couldn't get an MRI scan.
Yeah.
I had no doubt. It was in the height of this lockdown. So people with cancer patients weren't even getting seen to on the NHS. They all nipped together and they got me $5,000 together saying, fucking, we want you to play for us next season, fucking get sorted. So got me operation sorted, got me rehabilitation sorted. So I couldn't turn me back on them, and I'm at a fantastic football club with Chester. Loads of them come and watch me box. So I played for Southport then, set up my own little shop. This is a few years ago. Everything's been on the up, and I thought, this boxing's the one I used to go in and train with. John Gillies, not far from here.
Yeah, John, man. I'm going
John
there next.
round the corner.
Yeah.
Dave Tonks, Paul Wright, Alan Levine. These are like more pro side of the game, not amateur. I was training with these, and all those people were saying, lad, you need to turn pro, yo. You got heavy hands, you know, you've got the style, fucking do it, yo. So I had 17 amateur fights, won 16, got robbed me last one. And yeah, I didn't get a bat at this kid, but they give me, and I thought, right, I'm gonna give it a go. You've only got one life, Bill. Live it to the max. I don't want to end up like me half fella. Joe, my half fella says, you know, I should have turned pro, I this, that, and the other.
Just do it.
It's all noise, innit? Do it. My half fella's mate, Sid Goff, that's all he ever says, son, you've got one life pad. Fucking do everything to the max and live it. And, you know, wherever you go and you get beat, so what, you done it. So, I decided to turn pro with Dave Tonks up in Speak with Tonksy, and we haven't looked back really. We couldn't fight for the first year we were together, so it was good that transition from an amateur into a pro. Settle your feet down and
slower in it, the pace.
A little bit slower the pace. So great year of learning with Dave. Didn't half improve. Me half I hadn't seen me boxing since the amateurs. So then my first pro fight, well, all three of them now. My half fella said, bloody hell, son, you haven't half improved. So got on the Eddie Hearn show, the last one. This is all Will still playing footy for Chester, and Joe, the 2 years I've been at Chester, considering I've had another one of them bad injuries. It's not because I've done well, played well. So everything's been up. Everything's getting better.
I'm just fucking fascinated by what you've achieved, Paddy. It's like it's a story of like perseverance and not giving up. And it's you've had all these challenges put in front of you, and you've just thought, you know what? I know what I want. Keep going. Because for me, I had that similar mindset, because if it didn't keep myself busy, it kept myself fucking really unwell. Yeah. You know, if I didn't have a goal.
That's why I like cleaning and that though, Bill.
I do. I love doing the dishes. So me bed edits this. So
I like cleaning my shop, but I don't like cleaning our house.
And my life is just fucking moaning at kids, asking them to do the beds. It's a fucking nightmare. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, my mindset is just focused. You know, I've got to keep myself busy. Sometimes there's not enough hours in the day, and then sometimes I think I need a fucking break. And you'll learn this.
Well, I've got footy, boxing, floor laying, busy days, but I love it.
Wait until you get older, lad. And then you'll just want to, trust me, all that energy that you'll have will be like, fucking hell, I want to fucking just chill now. But you know what a fucking story. And I've sat here and I've enjoyed listening to it. So what's your pro record now?
Well, I've had 3-1-3, back out the 5th of March, I think. So this year is another building year, where 6-8 rounders, and then hopefully 2024, I'll win my first titles. Be fighting for titles most definitely.
Just and I believe you will, mate. And what an incredible story. And what do you always say at the end of the podcast, Pat? Because I know you're busy, and I know you're
don't worry.
Is what would you say? Any pearls of wisdom? What would you say to a younger Paddy Lacey coming through the doors of life? What would you tell him? Well,
what I tell my two little brothers is, as we were talking about before, everyone thinks the in thing is to do this, or we all go to raves, or we're all going to go to raves, or we're all going to go to matching. Don't know. When you're young, you're very, what's the word? Impressionable. So when you're young, you'll see things and everyone else is doing it, so you'll want to go over it. But find, I think this happens in your 20s, find what you like, and if that's different to other people, that's fine too. If you are your own quirkiness, your own difference, that's fine. Just be whoever you want to be. Don't, because Liverpool, it's rife for going out partying. So I fucking don't want my little brothers in town ever with all the fucking knives that are in town and the ale and the drugs. There's plenty of things that you will get a kick out of.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be ale and drugs, do you get what I mean? Because if I never had ale and drugs, I'd have took me football more seriously and I'd have played to a very good level football, but that weren't the plan. So yeah, just be okay being you and stand true in yourself that, you know, this is me and I don't have to change for no one. If you like wearing different shoes, you don't like going out and
be
whatever,
yourself,
be yourself and don't worry, because I can't, as you I was me, but I wanted to always be with the lads.
Yeah, there's a lot of that image orientation as well. When you just said that, it's home. You know, everyone wants to wear what everyone else has got. You know, the Monclairs, the Givenchy's.
I'm the same here, and all these clothes, it's all because Scouts was wearing.
All the proper grip on, and you know, if you haven't got it, you don't fit in. But some people haven't got it, and they don't fit in, and they feel different. I did growing up. We were quite poor, and we never had, you know, what fucking next door had. So I struggled with all that self-esteem. But now I'm fucking turning up the way I am, mate. I'm happy. I'll put all your so your flooring business. What's your flooring business called?
North Liverpool Flooring. So hopefully, Bill. So boxing will end at some point. We can't be a sportsman for the rest of our lives, unfortunately.
Unless George Foreman, fucking hell.
Well, yeah. But my Uncle Tony, he hasn't stopped. My Uncle Tony, Joe, the CrossFit, he come like second in Europe out the over 60s. He is a nutter, he can't stop saying. So I hope as I build my name in the boxing, you know, my business, so everyone comes to me for the floor. And so by the time I retire, I've got a successful business. And
I believe you will. I'll put all your description, all your details in the description and your socials and that. And Paddy, thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you, Bill.
Brilliant.